WCTV Eyewitness News. The Good Morning Show starts now.
All right, good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, hump day, and I'm getting with Rob's vibes of wearing pink on
Wednesdays we wear pink.
I'm getting it.
Look it up, look it up, look it up. Awesome, looking great. I hope everyone's feeling well.
Yeah.
It's hard not to feel nice when the weather's been as good as it's been.
It has been amazing the past 2 days.
We are going to remember these days. We remember that stretch around May 10th where the weather was so nice. You know, when all of a sudden it's the middle of June and it's gross outside every day. But that's not the case for today, and it likely won't be the case for tomorrow, too. So make those outdoor plans while you can before the warm and humids and muggies kind of wrap you up in one of those uncomfortable kind of blankets. As far as our setup goes for today, 52 in Live Oak and Valdosta and Perry, really comfortable for this. I mean, even a little chilly out there for some, right, this time of day. It's 56 Tallahassee, 57 Bainbridge, even Apalachicola is at 58 degrees this morning. So yeah, we are absolutely talking about more of that comfortable cool, I like to call it. And I don't see anything on the radar anywhere nearby. There is some energy still out over the Atlantic. We're keeping our eyes on that because it could start to spill some clouds back our way over the next couple. I think Friday more likely is the next real chance to at least find some scattered showers. But today's Wednesday. Most of our temperatures are going to make it to the mid-80s with all kinds of sunshine. I will break down that full forecast in just a couple of minutes.
New this morning, we're hearing from the Lowndes County Sheriff about the consequences that can come from stealing election signs. This after Aaron Price is accusing fellow candidate Darrell Presley of stealing her campaign signs and putting them in the back of his truck. Both are running for the District 3 seat on the school board in the May 24th election. Alicia Lewis spoke with law enforcement on what they often see during this time.
County Sheriff's Office says they often respond to election sign thefts around election time, but says people don't realize that there are consequences that can come from this. Sheriff Ashley Polk says he's worked 6 elections and says campaign sign thefts can lead to prosecution property theft charges.
Yeah, like I say, it's a misdemeanor, but it is property. I mean, you pay $4 or $5 for the sign, and if they were in a legal place, and you very well could be prosecuted for it.
Price says she and her husband noticed her signs were disappearing when people started to call them about not campaigning in their community when they actually were.
And we were like, we just put out 20 signs yesterday, and so as soon as we can get them out, if we put out 15, there might be 4 left, a few days later.
Sheriff Polk encourages those running in campaigns to be mindful of where the campaign signs are placed.
But then also, you can't put them on private property without permission, so people get overzealous and they're going to put out a sign for so-and-so and they just stick it up there. And then they'll say, well, somebody stole it. They didn't steal it. They just removed it from their property, or the DOT removed it. I would say 98% of what people think somebody stole their sign, people just removed it for those reasons, or the government agency removed it.
He says these incidents are just a form of political campaigns and encourages the community to just leave things alone that don't belong to you.
The Lowndes County Sheriff's Office is investigating the incident at this time.
Now, the Leon County Schools Committee, charged with crafting the district's new LGBTQ guidelines, holding its first meeting yesterday afternoon. And the district's goal is to have everyone trained on the policy by the beginning of the next school year. Our Brandon Spencer was there and has more.
The committee met for more than 3 hours on Tuesday, using the majority of the time discussing a 20-page draft of the presented guide. That guide, initially presented to the 14-member committee on March 25th for review to give school personnel guidance on how to navigate delicate situations.
A lot of times students go to the teacher because that's who they're close to. That's why this guide's important. It's important for teachers to be able to open up and say, okay, this student has come to me, what do I do?
Cox believes the first meeting went extremely well and feels every member has all students' well-being in mind.
And I think it's very obvious that everybody there is there for kids. Right? Where everybody was in there is what's best for students. And I think that's it's important because it's easy to get on the political side either way.
The committee coming into agreement to give students the ability to dress to their expression, but when it comes to locker rooms, there seems to be no guidance, and they will base it on a case-by-case basis. with each member hoping to address the concerns they have before the new school year starts.
One of my big concerns is parental rights and making sure that parents are involved in any decisions with the health and safety and well-being of their child.
Kerwin telling me that Tuesday's meeting makes her confident the group will come up with a helpful guide to assist Leon County schools.
Well, hopefully by the end of it, we'll have a document that will be presented and can be used, and parents, the laws are being followed, that it's a good guidance for teachers, but especially like administration and guidance counselors and social workers at the school.
The group, getting through just over half of the guide on Tuesday, has said they will do whatever they can to take care of their students.
And we want whatever we can do to get help, if they need help, services or whatever. That's what we're trying to do.
In June, the committee is expected to bring its recommendations to Superintendent Rocky Hanna, who will then bring it to the school board. Reporting in Tallahassee, Brandon Spencer, WCTV Eyewitness News.
And Brandon telling us the committee will finish reviewing the document at their next meeting. That's on May the 25th.
Let's go to Jackson County now. This is where local business owner Shilpan Dalal wanted to open a new liquor store at the intersection of State Road 71 and Peacock Bridge Road. But when it was brought up at the county commission meeting yesterday, more than 10 residents spoke out against it. Many argued they did not want the lights from the shoppers shining into their homes, and many don't want that kind of business near their home. In a 3-2 vote, commissioners decided not to approve the new store.
It's very difficult to, when you're trying to put a business in a location that is residential. It's a quiet neighborhood where people have lived forever. So you got to be careful in what you put where.
We're told Dalal can come back before the board to pitch a new idea for the property when and if he wants to. We asked him for an interview, but he declined our offer.
All right, by now you've noticed those gas prices back on the rise all over the place, especially in South Georgia and North Florida. And the reason, of course, is because of more expensive crude oil. Well, right now in North Florida, the average price for a gallon of gas, and this is regular gas, not premium, it's $4.26 in Leon County. In Jefferson County, it's $4.34, and in Gadsden County, it's $4.24. At South Georgia prices, they are much lower, but still kind of high. In Thomas County, about $3.89 per gallon. Lowndes, it's $3.92. In Grady County, it's $3.95. So like 30 to 35 cents cheaper in South Georgia. Coming up at 6:30, we're taking a look at these record high gas prices and what's to be expected in the National Inflation Report. That's expected out later today.
The time now 6:07. Feeling the Love, an unofficial world record art project on display yesterday at Railroad Square. British Braille artist Clark Reynolds spent the afternoon crafting 9-foot Braille dots to spell out the word love. He believes it's the largest Braille art mural in the world. Reynolds wrapping up a 3-week residency in Tallahassee. Each one of his works using Braille to create a piece of art. He says there's a lot you can learn from those small dots.
Braille is such a tiny dot, and it kind of represents blindness in a way. We're not seen, we're not talked about, but you blow it up, you give it meaning, give it graphicness, so the bigger the dot gets, the more exposure about blindness happens.
To share his love for America, he used red, white, and blue fabric to cover the large dots. The exhibit was just a one-day pop-up.
Time now for First Alert Weather with meteorologist Rob Nucatola.
All right, we are going to talk weather. I've got a beautiful weather forecast for you. As a matter of fact, it's going to be a continuation of what we've been having over the past couple of days. A lot of us are starting off today in the middle and even some lower 50s. Might be a little chilly for some. Might want to put on the light jackets this morning, but they'll come off quickly as we see those temperatures climb into the lower and mid 80s for this afternoon. Satellite radar composite style doesn't have a lot going on in our part of the country. Can you see maybe some of the clouds way out into the Atlantic? Atlantic. That's where the next piece of energy is, and it's trying to spill its way back to the west, but it's running into a big wall of higher pressure. And as long as that wall of higher pressure hangs in, we get more of the good stuff for another couple of days, or at least another day or two. It's 51 in Homerville, it's 52 in Live Oak, it's 50 in Cross City, so we're seeing some of the coolest temperatures in our eastern areas. We've got 57 at Bainbridge, it's 54 at Quincy, it's 56 in Tallahassee, we're at 59 in Moultrie, so some of our warmer temperatures, and even those are still cooler than normal for this time of the year. Normal morning temperature should be right around 60 or 61. If there's a breeze, it's more coming in from the north and east, and that'll be the main wind direction again today. So for one more day, we keep that cooler and drier flow. But I think by tomorrow, more of an east wind flow starts to happen, and that'll slowly start to change things up, and that composition of the air will get us more ready for some rain chances. Now, I'm not expecting widespread soaking kind of rains here. A 30% shot is probably the highest that rain chance is going to be on Friday, so it's not a great chance, but it's better than a 0% chance. All the while, still pleasant today and tomorrow, and even when things start to change, not super hot or humid, at least not yet.